Okay, so we're gonna start with some T-steps. So we're just gonna release through the glutes. Keep your left foot fixed. Bring your right foot in front and sort of T-shape it.
Okay.
And then reach your hands, palms facing up towards the left. And then come back to the center. So reach with a nice straight spine. And then coming back. Ideally, we want to be breathing out as you stand up, but don't overthink it. As long as you're not holding your breath, you're okay. And let's do one more on this side, and then we're going to swap legs. So now your right foot is fixed, and then reach to the right side. Let's do one more on this side. And take your ball, your massage ball, and we're just going to roll out the chest muscles. And while we're here, think of your posture. Lengthen the neck. Relax and wiggle your toes. Think about your pelvic tilt and where your pelvis is in relation to the feet. So making sure that we're not tipping the pelvis over the toes. Bring the pelvis back over the midfoot or even the ankle. Breathe into the rib cage and then swap over, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Relaxing face. Good. Up against the wall. Keep your shoulders flat against the wall. And we're going to take your right leg and we're just rotating that right leg towards the wall, keeping the opposite shoulder on the wall. And then we're going to swap over to the other side. Trying to keep your opposite shoulder on the wall. And then we'll swap over again. This feels a lot more intense than when I do it on the floor. I'm not sure why. I suppose because gravity isn't helping, maybe. Keep alternating from side to side. And pop the band underneath your right leg. Your left leg is bent with the foot touching the floor. And we're just going to sort of move the leg from side to side. So we're stretching the hamstring throughout. And as you move your leg to one side, you'll be stretching the inner thigh. And as you move your leg to the other side, you'll be stretching the glute and the abductors. You can hold the band with whichever hand you want to. It doesn't matter. You can switch hands if you want, which is what I'm doing. Good. And then swap legs. Swap the band underneath your left foot. Holding that band, the ends of your bands. Trying to keep your hips on the floor. So try not to twist your bottom cheeks off the floor. Keep them sort of down your back on the floor. I love this one as well. It just feels like you're flossing all the tissues in the legs. Lovely. Sitting up. And we're going to sit down with your back against the wall and your soles of your feet together. So you're in a butterfly position. We're just stretching out the inner thighs a little bit. Although I'm not pushing the legs down, I'm just letting them sort of use their own weight. And while we're here, we're just going to pump at the terminus. So the terminus is where your collarbones are. In the corner where your trapezius, your traps are, just in that corner, we're just going to pump on the edge of your collarbone. So I've crisscrossed my hands. You can do it this way or you can do it this way. It doesn't really matter. And we're only using the pressure that you would be putting on your eyeball. And just pumping this area. This is where all your lymph fluid comes back into your circulatory system after it's been cleaned. It goes back into your circulatory system. Take another couple of deep breaths. So deep breathing will also stimulate your lymphatic system because we've got a lot of lymph nodes inside the abdominal cavity, which your hands can't reach. So deep breathing will stimulate them as well. Good. So coming out of that, and we're going down on your side. Bend your knees, rest your head on an arm, and we're going to rotate the hip. So we're going to bring your knee towards the chest, and then we're just going to rotate the leg backwards. And then bringing the knee back up and returning it back to its original position. Let's do that 2 more times. So knee up to the chest, start to take it back and behind you. And then return. So although this is mobilization for the hip, I still find that it feels like my core is working. So when you're moving that leg, make sure you're exhaling. Inhale when you're stationary, exhale to return the leg. Inhale when you're stationary, exhale to take the leg behind you again. And return for the last time, and then we're going to swap legs. So rolling over or sit up and then go onto the other side. Breathe out to take the leg behind you. And breathe out to take the leg in front of you. For this leg, it's easier for me. My left hip is a bit clunky. And then last time back. And front. Lovely. And coming into child's pose, reach your hands forwards. And then reach your hands over to the left side and hold it there and breathe. And for those of you who can't kneel down, you're just going to stay on your back and bring your knees in towards the chest instead, towards the armpits even. And bring. Take another 2 breaths here. Good. Then taking your arms over to the right side. And for those of you who are lying down on your backs, you're going to extend your legs and come into Shavasana. So I'll just show you that just in case. So legs straight, arms by your sides, palms facing up, and just breathe. Good. And slowly coming out of that. Lovely, and you're all done. I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you.
You're
That was
welcome.
really good. Awesome.